Hey y'all, it's TheBreeze and you plugged into the Breeze lifestyle. Now, I'm so sorry. I've been a little MIA because my goal is to upload at least once a week. But I just needed a little break. Not that I be doing too much, but I just needed a little break because I know my birthday's in January. So instead of like Vlogmas, I'm going to give y'all like, I don't even want to say Breezeuary. I don't know what I'm going to call it yet, but I'm going to try to do at least 2 uploads each week because I'm actually going to be doing something every weekend. So I'll try to give you like a story time and a weekend vlog or a travel vlog. So I'm going to 3 places in January. 2, one of them not too exciting, one is cool, and the other one I'm really excited for. But anyway, this is gonna be the beginning. I'm actually on my way to a date and I was gonna be like 15 minutes late. So he was like, he running late too. So he was like, let's just push it back to an hour. And I don't really even care about that. Like, I'm cool with that. So if you mad about that, I don't care because I usually be the one that's always late. So I'm just glad he let me know in what did I say? In time where I'm not actually already there, so I'm not sitting in the car. So I said, why not, since I'm already cute, and mind you, I'm always cute, I feel like, but I don't be getting dressed up. So, and look, so I'm doing things a little different. So tell me what you think. When dudes tell you that they love your natural beauty, do you think that they be real about that? Because I feel like in today's society, everybody just wears so much makeup. And no shade. If you wear makeup, it is what it is. But I'm just saying, and there's nothing wrong with wearing makeup. But a lot of dudes be feeling catfished when they date a girl for so long. And then when they finally see her with no makeup, they're like, dang, like, not that she ugly, but she just looks so different without makeup. So I just am going with a natural look. And I'm not even putting no mascara on. Just, eyebrows not even done, whatever. I'm just bunning it with some lip gloss. So I'm trying to do the reverse. Like, I'm going to give you all me bare, which I'm usually always bare face. I don't wear makeup, but I will throw a little mascara on, do a little shum, But I'm going to give you me and see if you accept it for real and go from there. But I am going to wear some heels. I do got a dress on, so don't think I'm just going to this date just looking crazy. Now I'm still going to be... Okay, so anyway, I'm going to do like a dating chronicles. So this has to be one of the worst dating experiences in Atlanta. I would say at all, like one of my worst dating experiences ever, because we never ever went on a real date. So I'm going to tell you that this was when I was in Atlanta, obviously, but I'm not going to like tell you if it was a year ago, 5 years ago, because I've been in Atlanta for 7 years. So just know it was in my time in Atlanta. I was in my 20s, because y'all know I'm 30, so I was in my 20s. All right, so we're going to give this dude, we're going to call him Plumber, because he was the maintenance dude. So we're going to call him Plumber. So how I met him, obviously, he was my maintenance dude at my apartments. So y'all used to puff on trees. Like, I was a stoner, okay? So one time he came, I forgot what I needed done or whatever. I think it was something like my tub or something was going wrong or whatever. The water was leaking, something. So usually I get another dude and it just so happened to be him. Now, when you put in work orders with your apartment, you never know when somebody's, well, I don't know about your apartment, but my apartment, you would never know when somebody's actually going to come. You just hope it be the same day or the next day or at least sometime in that week. You feel me? So when he came, it was early in the morning and I was knocked out in my room. Now, y'all know maintenance people have the keys to your house. So I guess he was knocking, and from where my room was, I couldn't hear the front door anyway, because my room all the way in the back, front door all the way in the front, obviously. So he ended up coming in and they have to announce themselves, maintenance. So that's what woke me up. Like somebody screaming maintenance. So, whatever. So that's how we first met. We talked a little bit, cool. So the next time that he came to my house, it was for the same issue. So he came and looked at the issue, and then I guess the next day he actually came to actually fix the issue. So the next day that he came, it was more so in the afternoon, and I remember I had just got done. So he obviously, you know, when I opened the door, he could smell it or whatever. I was in my room doing it, but he still could like smell it on me or whatever. So he had said something about it, like basically he, in the words of old ass T, he was the local tree man. So yeah, he was a local tree man. He was asking me like what I get it for. So 35 for the 3.5, okay? So he asked me what I was getting it for, and I told him 25 for the 3.5. That's what I'm getting it for. Because at first I like had no interest in him. I'm just like, get out my face for real. And he was like, all right, well, I'll match that. Come, you know, come holler at me. Da, da, da. So I'm like, you ain't gotta tell me twice, okay? Anyway, so that's how we really started like hanging out. So I think because I didn't go to his house right away. So I did, he ended up, that's how he got my number. So he like, just take my number down, whatever. So I took his number. The next time I needed to re-up, I was like, why not? And then he'll come to me too. Like, I don't gotta travel, he'll come to me. So, because where I was getting it at the time, which is really irrelevant, but it was all the way in the city. And it was a little unpredictable. Like, he usually be there, but sometimes he wouldn't be. So, whatever. So, I hit him up. I'm like, hey, plumber, you know, I need this or whatever. So he came, dropped it off, and he gave me a little extra. You know, if you the local tree man, you trying to talk to a girl, you better give a little extra. That's going to catch my attention because I got the skizzy, and I'm always going to check what it be. So when it be a 4 or it be a 5, I'm like, okay. So, all right, so he gave me a little extra. So I'm like, all right, cool. And it was cool. So that's really how we started talking. So when he gave it to me, he was like, you know, you should come by and blow with me, you know, whatever. So that's how we started talking. So long story short, we were dating. Sorry, my ring is a little too tight. Yeah, I'm getting chunky, and I've been in the gym, and I'm trying to get better. But the way I eat, okay, let me stay on track, okay? So he invited me to his house to, you know, because it's like once you make the sale, and it's like, this is kind of, now I know these dudes, this is how they make their money, but at the same time they do it, so most of them, so to add me on to the, it should be nothing to you, you know? So anyway, so I went over his house a few times, and we had great times. Like, he was older. I would say he was like 5 to 10 years older than me. I don't remember exactly how old he was, but I know he was older than me. And, you know, I just liked, it's sad how just the basics will not turn you on, but it's like green flags. Because dudes, especially in Atlanta, they either don't got their own spot, or they shacking up with their baby mama, or they got roommates. So to see that his roommate wasn't even really a roommate, it was his son. So he had a son who was like in high school. So it was just him and his son who lived together. And then he had another son who lived in another state. So that's kind of the nitty gritty to the story. So let's just get to it. So that's how I met Plumber, and we was really cool. Like, never official or anything, but we was hanging out at least 2 to 3 times a week. Never went out on a date. He had brought me some food one time, but no, we actually went to, it wasn't a date. Like, he took me somewhere to pick up some food, and then we went back to his house. So never went on a date, because that ain't a date, sis, okay? So anyway, but it kind of really was my standards, because I didn't push for no date. I was kind of cool because I just started kind of getting my stuff for free. So I'm like, all right, cool. He got cool conversation. And like, he was a plumber, or not, he was never a plumber. He was a maintenance man. But he had dreams. Like, I'm not going to say this is how you get me now, but you used to get me, like dudes used to get me with dreams, because I deal with a whole bunch, or dealt, past tense, with a whole bunch of hood dudes who just was cool with where they was at. So to be a man with a dream that you're working towards, that used to pull at my heartstrings so bad. Like, oh my gosh, I just want to help him get his dreams, support him. You know, he support me. All right, cool. So basically, New Year's came. So he asked me if I wanted to spend New Year's with him. And I'm like, cool, like, you know, let's bring the New Year's. At this point, we had probably been talking for about, I want to say 3 to 5 months. You feel me? Like, not too long, but a good enough where I'm comfortable with him. You know, I've been to his house before, late nights, you know, like, whatever. So I'm like, cool, yeah, let's spend New Year's together. So I felt comfortable with him. I've been chilling at his house, been cool with him. He never gave me no weird vibes. Like, no, like, I can look back and be like, he did not give me no red flags. Like, he wasn't perfect, but he was cool. Like, he was a cool dude. And we sipping and we doing our thing or whatever. And oh my gosh, like, I already talk a lot, right? So I just was so talkative. Now it's about to be the new year. I gotta turn up. Like, here's my goals. Cause we did talk about that. Like, you know, we're gonna have fun, but like, let's write down some goals. Like, let's write down some things. Cause like I said, he be telling me about his dreams. So I'm like, let's write these things down and let's put it into action. You feel me? So at this time, so he didn't get to see his son, his baby, because his other son was like 5. So he didn't get to see him for Christmas. So the plan was for him to come during New Year's. So he was there. So I'm telling you this part because I feel like I was maybe pushing a little hard because of my circumstances, because I was under the influence. And because I'm a mom myself, and like, all right, I'm getting too ahead of myself. Let me just get to the story. So basically, one of his homeboys, so they was doing the weirdest thing. So most people don't do firecrackers for New Year's, but some people do. But instead of them doing firecrackers, because mind you, like, I feel like if I'm safe and comfortable with you, I don't mind being the only girl in a situation. As long as you don't give me no weird vibes, and as long as these dudes don't give me no weird vibes, I'm gonna be cool. So he had a couple of his homeboys at his house, and they was out there pewing in the woods. Like, so his apartment, like the balcony was towards the woods. So they was pewing towards the woods. And I'm like, that's weird. Like, why are y'all doing that? It just doesn't make sense. And he was like, come on, I want you to do it too. Now, I done dealt with enough hood dudes to know, like, I'm not putting my fingerprints on that. Like, I don't care. Go ahead, do your thing. I'm cool. I'm in here. I'm straight. Like, I don't need to do that. And he just kind of kept trying to pressure me to do that. And I'm like, no, I'm good. I don't want to. So he was like, all right, I'm about to go out there. I'm like, cool, I'm good. So yeah, I'm like, I'm good. So his son was playing with a little boy, like outside or whatever, one of his homeboys' son or whatever. So long story short, as the night starts dying down, it's getting towards like 11 o'clock. I guess his son, I don't know, because people be pressuring their kids to do things. So I don't know if his son really wanted to go over there, or if he was trying to convince his son that he should go over there and keep having fun and spend time with his friend. But long story short, his son went with his friend over there to the house or whatever. So at 12 o'clock, my mom called me. And my mom is very spiritual. She's the church grandma, okay? So we were just sitting talking, and mind you, I'm lit. So I'm just sitting there talking to her and just like, yeah, God is good. Like, just talking. And so that probably took about 30 minutes. So he ended up coming back in after we get off the phone. And not too long after I got off the phone with her, like, his baby mama called him. And she's like, why do our son keep calling me crying? Like, where is he? And he's explaining. Now, mind you, he's cool with me. So, you know, and he told me to run down about their whole situation or whatever. So he's just talking to his baby mama in front of me and everything. So she's like, and he got her on speaker, which I feel like is a little disrespectful, but whatever. I was listening to the tea. So she's like, and I feel, this is what I was saying. Like, as a mom, you didn't tell me where our son was going. He's supposed to be spending time with you because you don't hardly see him because we live in another state, whether I moved or not. Like, this is supposed to be your time with him. And he's calling me crying. And I don't know this other person whose house he is. My son is 5 years old. Like, I would have been spazzing just like the baby mom was. So as I'm listening to him give her excuses, I'm feeling her. I'm feeling sis. I'm like, yeah, like, you know, and maybe the son is scared to call you because maybe you tried to give him a pep talk. See, I wasn't around for that little part. I don't know where I was, but I didn't hear, like, I seen them leaving, but I didn't hear the whole conversation of him going over there or whatever. And maybe he's scared to tell you that he wants to come home. So the baby mom just low-key spazzing, like, why is he over somebody random house? I don't know that person, da-da-da. He's calling me crying, bawling. He's ready to come home, you know? And I'm just telling him, like, you know, like, this is after they get off the phone. I'm like, you know, like, if you trying to keep him, if you're doing this for me, like, I'm cool with him being over here. Like, I don't have no problem with that. Like, we can go get your son. He like, nah, he good. Like, nah, he good. So I'm just like, this, like, I wouldn't let it go because I felt her pain. And I'm like, but she just said that he was calling her crying. Like, nah, he good. I'm like, well, you call him. Like, don't just he good, you call him. At least, I'm thinking at least make sure he okay and let him tell you that he want to come home or whatever. So he called him and he didn't, and the son didn't answer the phone. So maybe 30 minutes to an hour go back, the baby mama called again. And like, you didn't go get him? Like, she's pissed. Like, why is he still calling me talking about he's, you know, he want to go home? Like, so they just getting into it for a good 15, 20 minutes. And he was like, now he did try to call the son more than once. Like, he did call him like back to back and the son did not answer the phone. So after that, he tried to call again and the son didn't answer the phone again. So maybe like 30 minutes went by and the baby mama called again. And she was like, now his phone did. Like, he told me that his phone was about to die or whatever. And now it's going straight to voicemail. So now the phone is dead. You need to go get him. So I'm telling him again, like, I am telling him, like, I understand where she's coming from. Like, I'm like, do she know him? Did you tell her that he was going over there? Like, she's just in a situation where her baby is crying and she cannot get to him. So I understand her pain. Like, I mean, it ain't really never happened to me because my baby stay with me. Not all the time, but like, it has never happened to me, but I understand how I would feel if I'm hours away from my child and he's calling me crying on the phone and he's 5 years old. Like, yeah, he can talk, but he's expressing himself to me to tell me that he want to go home. And like, so the dude plumber is like, you know how it be when, you know, when you, and this is true, sometimes kids do be wanting to stay, and then once they over somebody's house, maybe the kid done fell asleep on them and now they ready to come home. So, but either way, like, that's your child. And the way he talked about his son, like, that's his pride and joy and this and that, and you hardly get to see him. I don't care if it's 2 o'clock in the morning. Like, I'm coming to get my child. Like, so anyway, he kind of started to get mad at me because he felt like I was just taking her side. And I'm like, I'm not trying to take her side, but I'm telling you, like, babe, we can go get him and come back and finish the party. He's going to be asleep. Like, we'll put him to bed and we'll be up. Like, we cool. Like, and he was just like, oh, see, now she just ruining everything. Like, I started to see a side of him that I've never really seen before. And he was just like, now she just ruining everything, da-da-da, da-da-da, da-da-da. And he was like, I'll let you. This is what I hate, because, y'all, I love to talk. But I've learned, like, when people tell you that you can talk as much as you want to, don't listen to them. Don't listen to them because they're going to use it against you later. So he was like, I done let you talk all night and I done let you talk to your grandma and da-da-da. Now when it's just time for us to chill, now da-da-da. I'm like, because now I'm looking at you different, that you really don't care about your son being somewhere that he's not comfortable with or not familiar with. Whether he wanted to go over there or not, go get him. Like, I'm like, and he like, I'm lit. That I'm like, I'm cool. I'll drive you. So he like, nah, I'll drive. Come on. So he just mad. But we ended up, because then his friend is not answering the phone. So I'm like, maybe they all fell asleep on him. And I'm just picturing this little boy just sitting there crying. No mom, no dad, hardly know these people. Everybody's asleep, and he just by himself. Like, that's what I'm picturing in my mind. And I'm just like, I gotta save this kid. Like, that's all. Captain Save a Kid. Like, I just felt like I had to save him because his dad don't care. Like, his dad trying to be with me, trying to be laid up, and like, nah, like, I don't even want you around me right now because you're being weird about your own flesh and blood. Like, nah. So he ended up driving, and we drove over there, and he was like banging on the door. Bang. We was out there for a good 30 minutes. Everybody was asleep. And the son ended up falling. The son was asleep too. So he wasn't in the corner crying nowhere. Like, he ended, I mean, he might have cried himself to sleep. I don't know. But he ended up going to sleep or whatever. So I felt a little bad because it's like, I guess I should have just listened to him. It's not my son. But then I don't look at things like that. Like, whether it's my son or your son, like, especially if I'm dealing with you and dating you and stuff, like, I'm taking your kids in. Like, I'm not trying to be stepmom, but I have too much love in me to just not give a damn about your kids. Like, I don't know. I ain't got it in me. I can't do that. And I can't deal with no dude who don't do for their kids. Like, I can't, and I won't. So it just made me look at him a little different. So anyway, so we ended up getting back to the house, and he had a little attitude. He had a major attitude, and he was not afraid to show it. So I'm just like, all right, like, I don't care. Like, my car outside, I can go home. So he just started getting, like, aggressive. Like, he just started getting aggressive, and he, you know, was yelling and stuff, and just like, you know, you taking her aside, and da-da-da. Like, he just, like, was putting all his anger towards me, and he kept telling me, like, I let you talk all night, I let you da-da-da. I'm like, if you didn't want to hear me talk, why you ain't just tell me you ain't want to hear me talk? Like, so he was like, you know, the night is ruined and everything. So I'm like, I can just leave. And he was kind of like begging me not to go. So I was staying there for a little while, but then he just kept like being aggressive. Like, he wasn't touching me or anything, but he just was a hothead, and I had never seen him angry. Like, he was a very cheerful person. So it's like 3 o'clock in the morning right now, and I ended up leaving, and he like wasn't like stopping me anymore, but he was like, you don't have to go, like, you know, whatever. I'm like, nah, I just want to go. Like, I just want to go. I just want to go home. Like you said, the night is ruined, and, you know, whatever. So I ended up going home, and after that, I just had a sour taste in my mouth for him. And I'm the type of girl that, especially if we not like official, like, I'm K-Camp. It ain't nothing to cut you off. Like, once I get a red flag, or maybe 2 or 3 of them, it's just like I'm gone. Like, so with the whole like child thing, and then the whole making me feel bad about like caring about your child, making me feel bad about talking about our goals and our dreams and how we gonna be a family, and I just don't want to deal with you no more. So I kind of just told him that, like, you know, yesterday you kind of showed me a different side of you, and I just don't really want to deal with that or whatever. When I tell y'all, like, this man turned into a psycho. Like, that's the only way I can really put it. Like, he turned into a psycho. So I told him that, but what I will do is, because I at this point in my life, I was growing from just cutting people off and blocking them to explaining. Like, I'm still gonna cut you off, but I'm gonna give you the chance to hear me out, like, hear why I'm cutting you off, so you can be better for the next girl. That's how I felt about it. Like, not for me, but for the next one. So I cut him off. Yeah, I was in that phase of just, you know, explaining. So I went to his house, and I was really coming to re-up one last time with the price that I had, because I knew it was going to change. I knew things was changing. but yeah, so I, you know, kind of explained to him why I felt that way or whatever. And he just like was sitting there and he just started crying. And I don't understand, like, yeah, women are like emotional creatures, quote unquote, or whatever, but watching a man cry does not make me feel bad for you. Like, that, I don't know about other people, but like, when I know that you're wrong, and because I'm leaving, you're sitting here like, oh, why are you doing this to me? Like that. Keep it player, and maybe I might come back or something, but that right there, it's just gonna make me run away. Like, I do not want to see no grown man crying because I told you that I don't want to deal with you no more. Like, it doesn't make me feel special. It doesn't do anything for me, but make me run even faster. So I left that day, and after I left that day, I felt like, you know, I've given you enough explanation. You're not hearing me, so now block. So I ended up blocking him. And he had an Android, so he didn't really know that I blocked him. He just felt like I wasn't responding or whatever. And this is why till this day, like, I don't give dudes my address, because dudes get really weird when you don't want to be with them no more. No matter how good the times are, like, once you don't want to give them your time and your presence no more, they get really weird. In my experience, like, they get real weird. So, but he was the maintenance man, so he already knew where I lived. So maybe a week comes by and I get a knock at the door. A knock at the door, and no, I missed the part. Before I had even did that, before I blocked him, he was sending me all these text messages talking about, you know, how could you do this to me? I'm so sorry. You know, this is after I talked to him and told him it was done. So before I actually blocked him, the reason I blocked him was because of this. So, y'all gonna think I'm childish, but whatever, I don't care. So he was telling me, like, he was talking to himself because I wasn't responding. And then the text messages started to go like, you know, if I can't have you in my life, then I'm just gonna unalive myself, and I just don't want to be on this earth anymore. Like, I need you, and this and that. And it's just like, bro, like, you haven't even known me for a year. You talking like you gonna risk it all because I don't want to be with you no more? Like, I don't get it. And sadly, I played into it a little bit because I had seen him switch and get crazy, and I'm like, yo, this dude might actually do that. Like, so I ended up like, I gave it a couple hours after he sent that, and then I ended up calling him either on a text-free number or *67 or *69, whatever, because I didn't want him to know it was me. Like, I didn't want to feed into it, but I wanted to call him just to make sure he didn't do it. You feel me? Like, I'm like, man, I don't want it on my conscience that this man really unalived himself because I blocked him. Like, I just couldn't. I'm a savage, but I ain't that savage. Like, I just couldn't take it. So I called him, and he got a whole crowd of people in the background. He like, hello? Yeah. Like, he's just so happy. And I'm just on the phone, on mute, just listening. He like, hello? He like, who this? And you can tell, like, he a little lit, but he got people in the background, his music playing, like, living his life. He living his life. Want me to feel bad for him so he can get me back in his life. And ladies, listen, that's the trick. That's the con right there. I got more stories, but it's like, dudes, when you tell them that you're done with them, they know how much you love them or have love for them. So they try to put themselves in a vulnerable state so you'll be feeling bad for them. So that'll be the reason. They don't care if they get you back out of pity. They'll just want you back for any reason. They don't care if it's just because I said I was going to unalive myself. I got a story time that I'll tell you maybe. Anyway, but this dude kept telling me that he was getting locked up and, you know, just things to pull you back in. Anything to pull you back in. So once I seen that, that's when I blocked him. Like, you playing. Like, you sending me essays about how much you need me, how much you want me, and how much you can't see life without me, and you can never be the same again, and this and that. And I call you, and you having a party at your house. Like, you sound perfectly fine, okay? Perfectly fine. So that was the end of straw for me. Blocked him. I would say in that same week or the next week, I get a knock on the door. And it's in the afternoon, so, you know, whatever. I believe it was like a weekend day. I wasn't at work or nothing. So I opened the door. Well, first I looked through the peephole and I seen it was him, and I had to get myself together because I'm like, what are you doing here? Like, what are you doing here? So I'm like, okay, this is weird. So he just like, hey, can I talk to you? I'm like, sure. So I politely stepped out and shut the door, because don't think you about to come in my house and my baby in there. Like, no, don't play with me. So I'm like, what's up? So he just like, you know, just pleading his case and this and that. And I'm sorry, it might be a little power trip thing or nothing, but when a dude is in that position and I know that he's the one that's wrong, like, I love standing on business. Like, I love you thinking that this little sob story is going to do something to me. And I'm sorry, baby. I can't help you. I'm done. Like, I've already explained to you. I've already let you know the reasons why. Can I just get another chance? I don't think I got another chance in me. Like, I can't do it. Like, I can't do it. Like, no. So then again, what y'all think he did? What y'all think he did? I'm gonna give you a minute. Come on, build the community up. Comment what y'all think he did. Pause the video, because I'm only gonna give you 5 seconds. And it put the emojis in there, put the word in there, something. What y'all think he did? Started crying, sat right there in my face and just, and it's like he was trying to push them tears out. Like, he just started crying. And I'm just like, bro, and I'm just like, you know, I'm sorry that you hurt. Because it took everything in me not to start laughing, because it's like, it's the same thing as last time. Like, last time when I was in his house, like, I was kind of like chilling, and he was sitting there and he was like, he didn't just like, you know, blatantly cry, but he was like, and then I was just trying not to look at him because I knew what he was doing. Like, this is not my first rodeo. I knew what he was doing. So then he like kind of like, come here, look at me. Like, basically just like, if you can't hear me crying, I need you to see these tears. Like, I done pushed them out. So he's sitting there and he just crying. And I'm like, listen, I don't want to see you cry, but I'm not about to get back with you because that you're crying. No, I'm not crying because I want you to. Well, what you sitting here crying for? Because me as a woman, I got a little bit too much pride to just be sitting here crying in your face. Like, I'm going to turn away. I'm going to wipe them. That's how I knew it was fake. Because not once did he just letting them roll all down his face. He just want me to see the stains. He just want me to see that he's crying. Like, I ain't got nothing for you. Not me. Sorry. Like I said, don't let it fool you. You not doing that. So anyway, so he was crying, and I'm just telling him, like, I'm so sorry, but, you know, I can't do it. So he was just like, you know, so this is the end, like, this is it. I'm like, yeah, this is it. So he was like, I don't know, did you block me? I'm like, yeah, I did block you. And he was like, dang, like, you know, dang, like, it's nothing I can do, like. I'm like, at this point, like, no, it's nothing you can do. So after that, he ain't never, like, anytime I had a maintenance call, I'm like, I hope I don't get him. I didn't. He ended up quitting. I was happy about that. And yeah, that's really it. Like, that's really the end of the story time. But it's just so crazy how these dudes be just like switching up like that, and then just be wanting sympathy, be wanting you to cry with them, like, just, oh, come here, baby, oh, me leaving you was hurting you. Like, it's like it's manipulation, because instead of me being worried about the thing that you did to make me break up with you, you want me to be worried about your emotions at the moment because I'm breaking up with you because you did that thing. So now I'm feeling sorry for you, but who is going to cry for the little girl? Who cries for the little girl?
Who will cry for the little boy? a good boy he tried to be, who will cry for the little boy who cries inside of me.
But nah, for real, like, no. So if you thought that you was gonna get me like that, go get Samantha in them with that, because Breezy ain't going for it, period. All right, y'all, so this is probably gonna be the first video of my January. This is my first date and chronicles video. I got so much more, and hopefully this date right here don't be on no videos, but it's a crazy one that I got, and I gotta tell it. But anyway, like, comment, subscribe, follow me on my socials, support your girl, and thanks for being here. Bye.